let's return to the war in Gaza. Israel says it's reviewing Hamas's response to Israeli proposals for a 60-day truce in the territory. Key disagreements are thought to remain over the distribution of aid, maps detailing Israel's withdrawal, and Hamas's demands for a permanent ceasefire. Talks aimed at progressing a deal are taking place today between US and Israeli officials in the Italian island of Sardinia.
Donald Trump's Mideast envoy is headed to the region, and that could mean good news for Gaza ceasefire prospects. Steve Witkoff has been delaying this trip as Israel and Hamas conduct negotiations in the Mideast country of Qatar. The fact that he is now coming to the region is a sign that those negotiations have made some progress. Witkoff is expected to begin with a meeting with an Israeli delegation in Rome. Depending on how those talks go, he will then decide whether to continue on to Qatar in hopes of wrapping up a deal that could halt this 21-month conflict. Now, this diplomatic activity comes as conditions on the ground in Gaza continue to deteriorate. The Israeli military is still active. It says it is attacking Hamas targets across Gaza, but this crackdown has contributed to an ongoing humanitarian crisis. Aid groups, residents, UN officials all report dire shortages of food in Gaza, and health officials say that they are beginning to report deaths as a result of hunger and malnutrition. The U.S. State Department says that Witkoff will make the humanitarian situation in Gaza and ways to improve those conditions a focus of this upcoming.
With more on this, I'm joined now in the studio by the Palestinian Middle East analyst, Abu-Ibrahim. Thank you very much indeed for coming in.
For having me today with you.
What are you expecting to emerge from these talks today in Italy between US, Israel and Qatari officials? Because we understand that that meeting may not, in fact, after all, take place, and that it depends on whether the Israelis feel that progress is being made.
Okay. Thank you for having me today. Shortly, for the past 2 weeks, the negotiation goes on between Hamas and Israel in Doha. Israel has given 3 maps. The first map, this is what you have. The first map shows Israel want to control 50 to 45% of Gaza land. And if you look at the map...
Right, I wonder if we have that map up. On the screen. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. If you look at Rafah, that is the southern part of Gaza.
Right.
This area, Katz, the defense minister of Israel, says this area he wants to build a safety area for 700,000 of the Palestinians.
Selected, he wants to cram all of them
all
into
of
that
them
area.
Selectively,
right,
to live in tent, to be ready to transfer.
In other words, a refugee camp. Right.
To be transferred outside either by water or by Egypt border, Rafah border. And along all Gaza, you have 3 kilometers to 2.5, some areas 5.5. He wanted to control the whole of Gaza, and which is being rejected in the beginning. That's right. What make the peace process to delay. The second map, he agreed to shift from the areas a little bit, which has been rejected second time.
Right.
The third time, which is they have given the response, Hamas response was given this morning. For, I believe, if really Benjamin Netanyahu with his radical coalition government want to accept to stop the war today, they will accept what Hamas response was given today. Right. Hamas response was given as what they said before, Rafah border to be controlled either by United Nations or Arab power.
But not Israel.
Not Israel.
Yeah.
And aid to be given by United Nations, not American company. Because what we have seen over the 2 months or 3 months, the American company, it's a killing area zone to the Palestinian Salvation Point. Also, withdrawing from Mirag Point, which is dividing the north part of Gaza and the south part of Gaza, also withdrawn. Israel has accepted to withdraw from Miraj, and Israel, I don't know what will happen today, because Israel has called the negotiation team to come back to Tel Aviv for more deeply.
Right. So they've recalled their
They
team.
have recalled
Right.
them, while Witkoff is meeting the Prime Minister of Qatar, Sheikh Abdurrahman
Right.
Thani, and the negotiation head of Israeli team.
But your understanding is that Hamas has now given its latest response to those proposals for a ceasefire that are on the table.
Yes.
And the Israelis and the Americans are reviewing it.
Well, Hamas has given to the Qataris and the
Their
Egyptians
response.
their response,
Right.
and that response, to our own understanding as Palestinian and as analysts, I think Israel, if want to stop this war, Israel will agree
Right.
on the response.
So, because it seems reasonable and logical
Yes.
in a place where you've got a dispute.
Yes, yes.
That it's best to have United Nations
That is the best.
looking after the place.
Definitely, you are in a war. The whole world is
Right.
watching. Only the Netanyahu, who has been wanted in a crime tribunal, a crime war tribunal,
Right.
and we look at what is going on in Gaza today. As our first speaker, she said, salvation is getting deeply every day.
But is it, I mean, is that the only sticking point at the moment? Because I need to be clear whether there are other gaps and differences that have not yet been narrowed that the Israelis might hold on to, or Hamas might hold on to.
The main issue, the main sticking point,
Right.
it is the area where Israeli wanted to control, which cannot be accepted.
Right.
With all the what is going on,
Right.
and what the Palestinians are paying heavily.
But ultimately what the Israelis want is to destroy Hamas or make it impossible for Hamas to continue to act as a military force. I mean, they've called on Hamas to
Israel.
disarm. Is that likely to happen?
No. Israel is just carrying a media propaganda of fighting Hamas. Israel is not fighting Hamas. Israel is fighting every child in Gaza. We have 60,000 women are pregnant. They have no food to eat over 2 months. If I tell you, my mom called me yesterday and today.
Is she in Gaza?
Yes, she's in the north part of Gaza. For the past 10 days, they have not seen flour to eat. Flour.
Well, I'm very sorry to hear that.
You see a child of 2 years calling God that, oh God, just send me a flour. Let me be surviving. Israel is not fighting Hamas. Israel is fighting the existence of the Palestinians, and they are the owner of the land. Israel, one day, Netanyahu says he wants to change the Middle East. Yes, the Middle East will be changed, but without Netanyahu. He will be dumped in the history, and he will be questioned in the history. So freedom has to come to the Palestinians, whether Netanyahu or the whole world like it or not. If the whole world today is watching on the salvation going on the Palestinians, the whole world is watching. No human feeling of none of Arab governments, and I believe government of Egypt is part of this salvation against the Palestinians. Because if Sisi want this one over, it will be over immediately. But the Arab governments are also in support of what is going on. One call of Salman or his son to Trump, it will end this war. We hope, we as the Palestinians, when this useless Netanyahu speak about our mothers, he spoke today on the media that our mothers are nothing in this life, that they don't know what is right and what is wrong, what is evil and what is good. And he quote from the Bible that God says to him, we should look carefully and hear carefully. I will tell Netanyahu, yes, our mothers are the one who build us, and told us from the beginning to fight for our freedom, and we shall get our freedom.
Right. Well, it is fair to say, is it not? I mean, and I understand your emotion, and I think you're perfectly,
My family
you're perfectly entitled to it. But also the Israelis, I have to say, because we've had the Israeli ambassador to Nigeria on this program a number of times, Michael Freeman, he's perfectly entitled to have a right of reply. But let me just say that, Mr. Ramsey, would it be fair to describe this as a sensitive moment in the drive towards peace in Gaza? In other words, we could really be on the threshold of peace if things go the way that a lot of people hope that it will.
We don't trust Netanyahu government. We don't trust him really. He's after his hostages, being alive or dead. We don't trust him. If we trust him, yesterday he announced the other part of Palestine to be under his control, which is Oslo Agreement, which has been signed by PLO, shows the creation of two states in that land, Palestine and Israel. Yesterday, the Senate, or the Knesset, or what they call it in Israel, has, with 71 member, accepted to hold on West Bank. West Bank doesn't have Hamas. In the past 2 years, how many Palestinian is being killed in West Bank? This government of Israel of today, they are not a government of peace. They are not a government of recognition of the Palestinian right to exist and live. And this is the nature of occupant.
Right.
Their occupation. And we as a Palestinian, we shall fight till we get our freedom in our land.
Well, that
in the mention, just one word, in the mention of your meeting with the ambassador of Israel here in Nigeria, he came from Poland to live in one of the settlements near Gaza city. Why didn't he and others who are settlers to go back to where they come from?
Right. Well, we'll have to give him a right to reply to that. But I want to thank you very much indeed. Ramsey Ibrahim Abu-Ibrahim is a Palestinian Middle East analyst. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you for having me.